A group of alien exchange students from the peaceful planet Zarnok arrived on Earth with wide-eyed curiosity. Their sleek, silver spaceship touched down at the designated landing pad, and they were greeted by their human guide, Professor Claire Thompson. The Zarnokians, with their shimmering blue skin and large, curious eyes, looked around eagerly. "Welcome to Earth," Claire said warmly. "I hope you're ready to learn a lot about our world." The leader of the group, a young alien named Xylo, stepped forward. "We are excited, Professor Claire. Earth has always fascinated us." Claire smiled and led them to a waiting bus. "We'll start with a visit to the National History Museum. It's a great place to get an overview of human culture and history." As the bus weaved through the bustling city streets, the alien students marveled at the tall buildings and the diversity of people. They pointed out various landmarks and engaged in animated discussions about the differences between Earth and Zarnok. Upon arriving at the museum, Claire guided them through the grand entrance. The museum was a vast, echoing hall filled with exhibits showcasing different aspects of Earth's history. Claire started with the more peaceful exhibits, ancient artifacts, scientific achievements, and cultural milestones. The students were particularly intrigued by the section on art and music. They spent a lot of time examining paintings, sculptures, and musical instruments, asking Claire numerous questions about the significance of each piece. "This violin," Xylo said, pointing to a delicate instrument encased in glass. "How does it produce sound?" Claire explained the mechanics of the violin, demonstrating with an air violin how the bow moved across the strings to create music. The students were fascinated, recording every detail with their advanced devices. As they moved deeper into the museum, Claire noticed the war exhibits ahead. She hesitated, knowing that the Zarnokians came from a society that had long since abandoned violence. But it was a part of human history, and they needed to understand the full picture. "We're about to enter a section that might be difficult for you to understand," Claire warned gently. "It's about the wars humans have fought." The alien students looked at her with wide eyes but nodded in agreement. They followed her into the dimly lit hall, where displays chronicling Earth's major conflicts loomed large. The first exhibit detailed ancient wars, with artifacts like swords and shields. The students were puzzled but not overly distressed. Then they came to the World War II exhibit. The stark photographs of concentration camps, bombed cities, and soldiers in trenches were overwhelming. The aliens stood in stunned silence, absorbing the horrific images and stories. "Why?" Xylo finally asked, his voice trembling. "Why would humans do this to each other?" Claire took a deep breath. "There are many reasons. Power, resources, ideological differences. It's complex and tragic. But it's also a part of what has shaped our world." The students listened intently as Claire explained the causes and consequences of the wars. They asked questions about the motivations behind such conflicts and the lessons humanity had learned. As they left the museum, the alien students were quieter than before. The vibrant energy they had shown earlier was now subdued, replaced by a contemplative silence. Claire hoped that as they continued their journey on Earth, they would see not only the darkness, but also the light in humanity's history. The next day, the alien students were still processing what they had learned. Claire decided it was time to address their concerns directly. She arranged for a visit to a veterans' home, where the students could meet people who had experienced war firsthand and hear their stories. As they arrived, the students were greeted by a group of elderly veterans sitting in a cozy common room. Claire introduced the students and explained their purpose. The veterans, intrigued by the presence of the aliens, welcomed them warmly. "Hello, young ones," said Mr. Jenkins, an old man with a kind face and a World War II veteran. "I hear you want to know about our experiences." Xylo stepped forward. "Yes, Mr. Jenkins. We learned about your wars yesterday, and we are struggling to understand why such conflicts happen." Mr. Jenkins nodded, motioning for the students to sit. "War is a terrible thing, no doubt about it, but sometimes people feel they have no other choice. Let me tell you my story." He recounted his experiences as a young soldier, the fear and camaraderie, the battles and the losses. The alien students listened, their expressions a mix of fascination and horror. They asked questions about his motivations, his feelings during the war, and how he coped with the aftermath. "How did you find the strength to continue?" Zira, one of the students asked. Mr. Jenkins smiled faintly. You find strength in the people around you, your friends, your family, even strangers who need your help. You push through because you believe in something bigger than yourself. The conversation continued with other veterans sharing their stories. Each narrative added a new layer to the students' understanding of human conflict and resilience. They heard about the Vietnam War, the Gulf War, and more recent conflicts. Each story was unique, but all shared common themes of bravery, sacrifice, and the hope for peace. After the visit, the students thanked the veterans and left the home deep in thought. On the bus ride back, Claire noticed that the students were talking quietly among themselves, reflecting on what they had learned. Xylo turned to Claire. We are starting to see the complexities of human nature. There is so much pain, but also so much strength and hope. Claire nodded. Exactly. Humanity is capable of both great good and great evil. It's important to understand both sides to truly appreciate the full picture. Back at their temporary residence, the students gathered for a discussion. They shared their thoughts and feelings, trying to make sense of the information they had received. Xylo stood up to address the group. We have learned that humans are not so different from us. They face struggles and challenges, but they also have the capacity for great compassion and resilience. We must take these lessons back to Zarnak and use them to promote peace and understanding. The students agreed, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. They decided to work on a project that would help bridge the gap between their two worlds, fostering mutual respect and learning. Claire watched them with pride. She knew their journey was far from over, but she was confident they were on the right path. The following morning, Claire decided to take the students to a more uplifting part of Earth's history. She arranged for a visit to a community center where people were actively working to promote peace and reconciliation. The center was bustling with activities, from art therapy sessions to conflict resolution workshops. As they walked in, they were greeted by Maria, the center's director. Welcome! We're thrilled to have you here. Today you'll see how we work to heal the wounds of the past and build a better future. Maria led them to a room where a group of children were drawing and painting. This is our art therapy session for children affected by conflict. Art helps them express their feelings and start to heal. The alien students observed the children intently. They saw the bright colors and imaginative scenes, a stark contrast to the dark history they had learned about. One of the children, a boy named Sam, showed Xylo his drawing of a peaceful garden. That's beautiful, Sam, Xylo said. What inspired you to draw this? Sam looked up with a shy smile. My mom says that even when things are bad, there's always a place of peace inside us. I like to draw it to remember. The students were touched by the boy's words. They continued to explore the center, watching a mediation session where former enemies worked together to resolve their differences peacefully. They saw the power of dialogue and understanding in action. Later, Maria took them to a quiet room for a discussion. You've seen how we try to heal and move forward, she said. It's not always easy, but it's necessary. Zira, deeply moved by what she had seen, asked, How do you keep hope alive in the face of so much pain? Maria smiled warmly. We focus on the small victories. Every time we help someone find peace, every time we resolve a conflict without violence, it's a step forward. We believe that together, we can build a better future. Claire joined the conversation, addressing her students. This is what I wanted you to see. Humanity isn't defined only by its conflicts. We're also defined by our efforts to overcome them, to build something better. The students nodded, feeling a profound sense of connection to the people they had met. They spent the rest of the day participating in various activities, from helping in the community garden to joining a peace-building workshop. As the day came to an end, the students gathered once more to reflect. Xylo spoke, his voice filled with determination. We have seen the worst and the best of humanity. It's clear that the path to peace is difficult, but it is possible. We must take these lessons to heart and share them with our people. The group agreed wholeheartedly. They felt a deep sense of responsibility to promote the values of peace and understanding on their home planet. Claire felt a surge of hope as she watched her students. They had come a long way in a short time, and she knew they were ready to make a difference. The journey wasn't over, but they were on the right track. In the final week of their stay on Earth, the alien students and Claire focused on their project to promote peace and understanding between their two worlds. They decided to create a multimedia presentation combining art, stories, and interviews from their experiences. They returned to the museum, the veterans' home, and the community center to gather more material. Each location welcomed them back with open arms, eager to contribute to the students' ambitious project. The veterans shared additional stories, some painful, others hopeful. The children at the community center created new drawings, and the peace workers shared their insights. Back at their temporary residence, the students worked tirelessly, weaving together the threads of their journey. They compiled the veterans' stories into a poignant narrative, highlighting the courage and resilience of those who had endured war. The children's artwork was transformed into a colorful tapestry of hope, showcasing their dreams for a peaceful future. One evening, as they were putting the final touches on their presentation, Claire sat down with Xylo and the others. "You've all done an incredible job. This project is a powerful testament to your dedication and compassion." Zira smiled. "We couldn't have done it without you, Claire. You've been an amazing guide." Claire felt a surge of pride. "It's been an honor. I truly believe this project will make a difference." The next day, the students presented their project at a special event attended by both humans and visiting aliens. The room was filled with diplomats, scholars, and curious onlookers. As the lights dimmed, the presentation began. First, the veterans' stories played on the screen, their voices resonating with the audience. The pain and suffering they endured were evident, but so was their strength and hope. Next, the children's drawings filled the screen, bringing smiles and tears to the viewers. The vibrant colors and innocent dreams spoke volumes about the desire for peace. Finally, Xylo stepped forward to address the audience. "We came to Earth to learn about your history and culture. What we discovered was a complex tapestry of conflict and resilience. We have seen the worst of humanity, but we have also seen the best. Our project is a call to action, a plea for peace and understanding." The room erupted in applause. The presentation had touched the hearts of everyone present. As the event concluded, many approached the students and Claire to express their admiration and support. Diplomatic channels were opened, and new initiatives for interplanetary cooperation were discussed. In the days that followed, the project gained traction, spreading across social media and news outlets. The message of peace and unity resonated with people around the world. The students returned to Zarnok with a sense of accomplishment and a renewed purpose. As they prepared to leave, Claire gathered them for one last meeting. "Remember, this is just the beginning. Continue to share what you've learned and work towards a better future for both our worlds." Xylo nodded, speaking for the group. "We will, Claire. Thank you for everything." With a final farewell, the alien students boarded their spaceship and departed for Zarnok, leaving behind a legacy of hope and understanding. Claire watched the ship ascend, feeling a profound sense of fulfillment. Humanity and Zarnok had taken the first steps towards a lasting peace, guided by the wisdom and compassion of a group of young students and their dedicated professor.